Hey, what is up you guys, and welcome back to Firework, and we have got another Spider-Man weapon slash project build. So this will give us more powers like Spider-Man, they're be it not as powerful as the other ones, but still, they're powers nonetheless. And if you're not already subscribed, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so like I said, we're making another Spider-Man build. So these builds, they're meant to give us the powers of Spider-Man, so we've already done the web shooters and all that. We can sling webs now. They're not as refined as I'd like them to be, but still, we're shooting webs, nonetheless. So today, the weapon or project that we're making to give us the powers, well, Spider-Man's sticky, he can climb walls and all that. We're not going to be able to do that though, don't get too excited. But the thing is though, is that he's sticky here, okay, like on the fingertips. And so basically, I want to recreate that power. So it's not going to be as powerful, like I said. It's not going to be anywhere near as powerful, but it's still going to be semi-cool. So basically, the idea is with magnets. So basically, yes, technically I should have just put magnets onto the ends of the fingers and that'd be fine. We could just end the video there. But there wouldn't be too much content then. And with YouTube, you gotta get some of that content. So to give you the content, we're also gonna paint these, we're gonna make them look like Spider-Man gloves, and we're also gonna paint the magnets probably will, so they blend in with the gloves. So yeah, let's get right into it. Before we get right into it, we've just gotta do one more thing, which is go over the possible other designs that we could have done. So basically, a few things I was thinking is we could go Velcro, then I realised, well, you're not going to be able to stick to anything that isn't Velcro then, so it's even worse than magnets, because you can't find freaking Velcro everywhere, but you can find metal practically everywhere nowadays. A few other things were like, just double-sided tape, we could have done that, maybe we will eventually at some point, because it's not that bad of an idea. It's just that every time you stick to something, then you go take it off and put it back on, or you'd have to have it relayered so then you could just take one layer off, but still, it's just weird then. So magnets just seemed like the better idea. Glues would have been too sticky and hard to get off, and they wouldn't have been concealed at all, so magnets let you reuse them, you can stick to a lot of stuff, and honestly they're kind of solid, it's the only real solid thing that you can use. So yeah, now we can get right into the video. Okay, so the gloves are all painted and they're all ready to go. But the problem with these gloves is that they can only pick up small items such as keys or bolts. But that's not really like what we're looking for. Like, it can't pick up this knife, it can't pick up a pair of shears, it can't pick up even a wrench or whatever, which is something that would be more helpful to pick up. So then I just tried, just seeing how maneuverable it was with these on, and it's alright. Like, it doesn't really stop you from doing anything. So I don't really see a reason to taking these off. Like the little magnets. There isn't an actual real reason that we need to. But I would like these to be stronger, so I did what any sane person would do, and I stuck another stronger magnet to the palm of it. So this stronger magnet, it can pick up all this pieces in. But what it can't do is, be actually good, because for one, we only have one of these. And for two, it does make it a fair bit harder to maneuver with it on. So, yeah. Basically, also, another problem with it is that it comes off every time it sticks to something that is stronger than what it's sticking to with the, actual glove. So, there's a few problems with this, and they are not ones I like. So I think we need to take another look at these gloves and figure out a better thing for them. So I am taking these off. At least one. So, what's the problems with these things? So one problem would be that they are just not magnetic enough. These are fridge magnets, but really it's all we've got for now, so we're going to have to work with these. But, I don't want to. So what we do have is these, but they're broken in half. So we need to figure out something with these things. So basically, before I said that there wasn't a reason to take these off, but there really is. They stop you from doing anything that's really Spider-Man-like. So they are stuck on fairly well, I'll give them that, but just can't justify having them on when they do practically nothing. Besides make holding stuff and doing stuff a billion times harder. So basically we're going to have to rethink this for a second. Okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to remove all the smaller magnets from the fingertips. And basically that will take us back to stage 1, but we'll have painted gloves anyway, so it's fine, we don't have to redo that. So basically we need to figure out something to do with the magnets, a place that they can go, that the broken ones can go as well, because we can't just have them all be big ones, because we've only got one. And it needs to be a place where it's not going to mess anything Spider-Man up. So if we're doing something Spider-Man-y, it can't mess us up at all. It has to be straight there. It can't just screw you over, because basically it's just there. Because, okay, so it's really hard, because it's like trying to walk with a rock in your shoe, but imagine this more with a rock in your glove, I guess. It does not make it nice, and you can't make a proper maneuver with it. And one of the most important things about Spider-Man is it's meant to be graceful, honestly, so I don't want to be able to, freaking stick to keys, but not be graceful when wearing these, because these would be what Spider-Man would be wearing. So, well, we need something better designed, so let's go over there, we'll just start sticking them to them randomly, and we'll test them out, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, test 1. Put it onto the wrist, so it's right here. It's not exactly, well, it's definitely not exactly where the actual Spider-Man sticks to, but it'll be fine. Let's just try it out. Okay, so it does semi-work, but it needs stabilizers. So basically, those finger ones, they're what might come in handy. So just gonna put 2 of those on somewhere. Okay, so I put 2 of them on. Yeah, this doesn't work. There's also one other problem as well, which I'll show you in a second. It's just yet another thing that this has to do is coexist with the web shooters. Because this thing doesn't let you load it because it sticks to the cartridge. So it can't go anywhere on the wrist right here. and I'm doubting that it should go on the back of the hand because that just doesn't really work. So yeah, back to thinking. Okay, so now we're trying it right here because reasons. Okay, so basically my reasoning is that you grab stuff like that. If we just have it somewhere we actually grab stuff, then it shouldn't impact us too much. It kind of works. Like, it definitely works better than on the wrist. One thing though that we've got to test is whether it affects the web shooters. Okay, so no it doesn't. It doesn't affect it at all. It's perfectly fine. Just pull that out. Yeah, it doesn't affect it at all. Can still shoot it out and it'll be fine. Except for that, actually. That's not good. Okay, never mind. False alarm. Okay, so it has begun to rain, but doesn't matter because, well, screw the rain. Yeah, all we need to do now is just reinforce this area so that it will actually stick properly and it won't come off constantly, because it's friggin' annoying that it comes off every time, and we'll be good to go. Okay, it works. Okay, let's go do the other gloves then. Okay, so they're working great now. We've got both of them. They can both do the grabby thing, whatever. So they've both got the magnets on them, and they're fully connected, and they're pretty sturdy. So I'm going to say that I'm confident enough to do stuff with them now, and they shouldn't come off just randomly. So as you can see, they pick up everything that the other ones couldn't, and that we wanted them to. So yeah, it's cool, dude. Like, look. It wants to pick up all the old stuff as well. Nice. Okay. So yes, they can do all the stuff we wanted them to, but why don't we up the ante a bit? So before we had to change it from being on the wrist for multiple reasons, and one of them was because of the web shooters not interacting with it well. So rather than just making it so that the whole entire like web shooters and gloves just like semi work together and all that, and they don't stop each other, why don't we make it so that the gloves actually help the web shooters? And we can do that by sticking another magnet around about here. I'll show you how. And here is how. So basically, usually when we want to use them, is we had to hold it like that, and then we had to throw it out, and then we do like, you know, the hand motion, you know, it still worked and did it in the same sort of manner as how the other one did it, like, or the actual Spider-Man did it. But basically, there's a different way we could do it, where we don't have to worry about it as much, which is by basically just having it here, because I reckon that if we magnetize this, it's not going to be strong enough to hold this on, so when we throw it, this will come off of this, but this won't come off the glove. I don't know, you'll have to see it to figure it out, so let's just go start this on real quick. Okay, so I already attempted it off camera. It is here. It doesn't quite work though. So the problem with it is this is actually too strong now. So actually there is something we can do about that. And basically I've got two different ideas of how to do it. Okay, so for one, either we could put something over this, like a piece of rubber, or just anything that we reckon would look good and would look like Spider-Man-y, like, because the Amazing Spider-Man, he has a pad that runs over here, under here, over to his web shooter. So it does technically go through the movie, kind of, and it looks more like it. Or we could just take this off and put it underneath the glove, and that might make it weak enough then. But then there's not going to be anything here, and it might look a bit weird. But whatever we do, I reckon it'll be okay. Might as well try them both out and see what we've got. Okay, I did test it out, did it off camera. It was very lackluster, nothing even really happened. It just barely came off, it didn't even fire properly. So this little layer of plastic here, it's not going to do it. So, gonna need something a bit better. Okay, so I've just tucked it under there, the little magnet, the one without the plastic on it. And I guess we can now see how powerful it is when compared to the thing. So yeah, no, I still got a lot of power. So if we switch it out with the one with the plastic on it, or hot glue, that might be enough to prevent it from being strong enough. There's only one way to find out though, so. Okay, so that has prevented it a fair bit. So, might as well stick it under there properly, and we'll see if it actually works. So it's actually stuck under there. I've just put like a little extra thing of hot glue here, plus a bit of paint so we know where it is, and now we're good for testing it. Okay, so, as you can see, it just clicks into here. Boom. And there is something wrong. Okay, so as you can see, it just slips into here. And that little red dot's where the magnet is. So it doesn't prevent this from going in at all. Just slap that onto the magnet, and then we're all good to go. So testing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it did fire, it just didn't stick on, because why would I have good luck like that? Like, come on. Seriously? You gotta have luck like that? Okay, well, go again. Okay, there we go. Not gonna lie, just threw that one, but whatever. So it does work, but I'm thinking it might need to be weakened a little bit more, so we will add a bit more hot glue. That'll weaken it enough, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so I've done it up a bit more. I tried to do a bit like the thing that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man has, where it's like connected underneath. This is roughly the shape that he has. It's not very good, but still, it's good enough, I reckon. I'll try and polish it up a little bit at some point, but for now, this will work. Just gotta go and do it to the other glove. Okay, so they're done, complete. So we've got the magnetizing parts. I've painted those so they're a bit less visible and a bit less obvious. We've got the web shooters on both arms, and also now we've got this area like the Amazing Spider-Man has. So then all you'd have to do is pull this out, slap it onto there, and now you just throw it and boom, done. So let's go test it out, I guess. Oh my gosh, they work! This is awesome! Okay, so these things work. This is awesome. So these gloves, they don't only magnetize the stuff, but they also now help the web shooters out and make them more realistic. This is freaking awesome. And we can go so much more further with these gloves. We can go further with all the Spider-Man stuff. And we are not stopping. So let's use these a bit more. And let's go and do this. Okay, so it's a new day. The web shooters work like we just said. And I've got the web shooter case right here. So let's Spider-Man it up. Okay, so these things work pretty awesome. Honestly, kind of got lost with them. So basically, the entire thing that these were just meant to do was just to give us the power to stick to metal, which they did. And they do that fine, yeah. Like, I've got some metal here. Snag some of that real quick. And yeah, it does that fine, you know, like, it works. But the thing that these do the best, and are really cool for, is actually just upping the web shooters that already existed. So, I don't know, I guess it's a win-win. So we ended up getting the sticky hand sight that we wanted, which are magnetic, obviously. And they work pretty damn good, honestly. Like, as long as you're just picking up something a bit more lighter. And I could see this as being helpful in battle, since, like, you could pick up, like, just a piece of metal and use it as a shield, I guess. They are pretty comfortable as well. They don't disturb the gloves at all, so you can still do all the Spider-Man stuff in them, like what we wanted it to. And it also now gives us an even better reason to be doing the Spider-Man symbol, since it latches onto there, flick it off, and doing this also deflects it from going to the magnet instead of just flying off. So, these are pretty awesome. They absolutely worked, and the creation of these was really epic. They were a bit hard to test since they're not like the most insane thing ever, but there are more insane things coming, and the web shooters are insane. They just haven't been shown how insane yet. So, we'll get to that later. We're still doing web shooters. We are not stopping until we've got all Spider-Man's powers. And yeah, that's the end of the video. And so yeah, that's the end of the video. So please subscribe, please like, please leave a comment of what you want us to make next, or if there's anything you want us to add on to the web shooters, or any other projects that we've already done. And until next time, never stop fighting and never stop working. See ya.